There are cities you visit, and there are cities that absorb you. Paris is the latter. It is a place that exists in the collective imagination as much as it does in reality. Romanticized, immortalized, stamped into postcards and film reels. Yet no amount of expectation fully prepares you for its first embrace. The way it shifts from fable to something tactile, something lived. I arrived weary from the long haul of travel, carrying the weight of distance, of time zones crossed, and disrupted sleep. And yet, as the taxi moved through the city's arteries, the fatigue gave way to something else. A recognition as if I had been here before, in a dream or another life.
Madame, Monsieur, bienvenue à Paris, aéroport Roissy-Charles de Gaulle. Il est 13h20 en heure locale. Votre salle d'arrivée est située au terminal 2E. Vous pouvez dès à présent désactiver le mode avion. Votre ceinture de sécurité doit rester attachée jusqu'à l'extinction de la consigne.
The journey began in exhaustion. A 10-hour flight from Mexico City to Paris that felt like a slow erosion of time. Air France had done little to ease the discomfort, but there was no point in dwelling on it.
Bienvenue à Paris. And it's cold like 0 degrees Celsius.
What mattered was I was here, stepping onto the glass-walled air bridge at Charles de Gaulle Airport, where a biting cold cut through my clothes, reminding me that I had left behind warmth for something sharper, something real. Like all airports, the airport was a place of passage rather than arrival, faceless and indifferent. I moved through it, clearing immigration and customs with the efficiency of someone who had done this before. Outside, the taxi queue promised its pitfalls. Paris, after all, is a city where naivety is taxed at a high rate. I ignored the solicitors in the arrivals hall and found a legitimate cab, handing over 65 euros for a ride into the city. The fatigue was beginning to settle in, but as the streets of Paris unfolded before me, I felt something else, a quiet astonishment.
So right now, I'm taking a taxi from Charles de Gaulle Airport to my hotel, which is like close to the Eiffel Tower. It's a flat rate, it's 65 euros, and I'm so tired to just look for the Uber stop because, yeah, I'm tired and I really wanted to go to my hotel right now. But yeah, the taxi driver is nice, très bon. And he tried to talk to me in English, and I tried to talk in French as well, but apparently, we're both mutually unintelligible. But yeah, everything's nice, and first impression, it's gray, it's cold, il est très fort. Okay, finally here at my hotel. It's a bit small, but it's okay. And my room is at the first floor. Well, if you're in the Philippines or in America, it's the second floor. So these are my bags, a window, but the view is not really that good. But who cares? I mean, with that kind of building, I'm sold. And there's a mirror, there's a TV, quite huge. And this is the bathroom. It's, it's small, but very functional and clean, of course. There's a giant mirror. And yeah, there's a shower. Overall, this place costs like 400 euros for 3 nights. But the location is really good, I guarantee you. Because it's only, 800 meters away from the Eiffel Tower. Bonjour, and right now I'm going to walk to the Eiffel Tower. It's a 20-minute walk, approximately 1.4 kilometers away from my hotel. So it's a very cold weather today. It's 0 degrees, but I'm loving it.
After checking into the hotel and shaking off the dust of travel, I set out for my first real glimpse of Paris.
Oh my god, first impression of Paris. So beautiful. Et très bon. I am out of words, like, I cannot fully describe what I'm feeling right now. Tears on my eyes-ish. But, wow. This city is really beautiful. Now I know why it is living on its reputation of being the most romantic city here in the world.
The Eiffel Tower loomed ahead, a silhouette against the fading daylight.
There's no perfect word to describe what I'm feeling right now, and it's really beautiful. Like, when I went to Geneva, I thought it was beautiful, but this city is way more beautiful. I don't care if people would say it's overrated, but wow, if you're here, you'll feel all the emotions, you know?
Though I had seen it countless times in books, on screens, or in other people's stories, I still carried the power of the unfamiliar. I stood there, absorbing it, letting the city's weight settle on my shoulders.
Behind me is the famous river Seine. This is where they did the fluvial parade during the Olympics. And as you can see, the Olympics ring is still here. Right across the Eiffel Tower, there's this Swiss village. I don't know, but they're selling crepes and fromage, raclette. What else? All these French goodies.
That evening, I met up with Elaine, a friend I had not seen since 2007. Time had played its games, shifting our lives in different directions, but at that moment, over dinner at Brasserie de Pré, an establishment now immortalized by Emily in Paris, we found common ground once more. The food was rich, the wine generous, and the city outside pulsed rhythmically. The next morning, I set foot inside the Louvre. The museum was less a building than an idea, a collection of moments frozen in canvas and stone.
This is it. I'm going to see La Gioconda, or the Mona Lisa, in person.
I explored its corridors, channeling my inner Robert Langdon, allowing the Mona Lisa to meet my gaze with that same knowing smirk.
The museum, in its vastness, was at once overwhelming and intoxicating, a place where art was both worshipped and consumed, where centuries-old masterpieces were scrutinized in passing, as if they were mere exhibits at a trade fair. I lingered in the quieter halls where Flemish masters painted faces that seemed to whisper secrets.
So this place is really huge. Like, it's a massive complex of different arts and sculptures and all collections here. So your 22 euros a ticket price is so worth it, especially if you're into arts.
Outside, Paris pressed against the glass pyramids, modernity encroaching upon antiquity. But within the Louvre, past reigned supreme, imperious and unyielding.
From the Louvre, I moved outward to the Arc de Triomphe, where traffic spun in relentless, chaotic orbits.
Now this is Arc de Triomphe. And a very busy traffic around Paris.
The Arc de Triomphe stood defined at the heart of Paris, a hulking monument to conquest and memory. Its sculpted friezes locked in an eternal struggle against time. The Champs-Élysées pulsed with movement, a river of headlights and hurried footsteps. while the Eiffel Tower loomed in the distance, different to the centuries. The wind carried the echoes of victories long past, but standing there, watching the ceaseless tide of modernity swirl around the monument, it was clear Paris never pauses to look back for long.
Later, Galeries Lafayette swallowed me whole, a temple of commerce where the city's heartbeat grew loudest. That evening, I returned to Trocadero Gardens, where the Eiffel Tower performed its nightly trick, glittering in artificial splendor. The crowd gasped in unison, as though witnessing it for the first time, and I let myself believe, for a moment, that I was among them.
Today is a sunny day, and we're now walking towards Notre Dame Cathedral.
The following day led me to Notre Dame, where restoration work continued in silence, the cathedral standing as a wounded sentinel. Its facade, partially veiled, hinted at its former glory, and I wondered if it would ever be the same.
Wow. Can't believe I'm here. I think Quasimodo is here as well. Well, to be fair, I did not expect this is going to be big, because in the photos it looks small, but actually, it's kind of big. So several years ago, when it was brought down by a fire, no one would believe that this would be restored. But the government was really meticulous, and they restored it to its full glory, as if that fire was a distant memory. So amazing.
For lunch, I sought out Bouillon Chartier, an old Montmartre institution where history sat at every table. There, I tried escargot for the first time. Tiny shells swimming in garlic and butter, the contents tender, yielding. It was a taste of Paris in miniature, old, indulgent, slightly defiant. Later, I returned to the banks of the Seine, a crepe in one hand and coffee in the other, watching the river carry its secrets downstream. For all its grandeur, Paris was still a city of quiet moments, spaces in between.
You know, walking around Paris is really a vibe. Like, that one is your background every single day. I'm blessed and really grateful for this experience. Okay, so the sun didn't show up today, unfortunately, but it's still a vibe. It's gloomy, but I really like it. So we're now here at Madeleine Church, or Église de Madeleine, and it's an interesting church because it looks like a Greek building. So there's a lot of columns, as you can see. So we'll figure out if we can go inside or not.
On my final day, I visited La Madeleine, a church more reminiscent of an ancient temple than a house of worship. Its columns stretched outward and skyward, and its cavernous interior swallowed sound. I stood there, feeling small in the best possible way. 4 days in Paris was not enough. It never is. But as I left, I understood what made this city linger in the minds of those who walked its streets. Paris is not about the things you do, nor even the things you see. It is about the way it changes you, the way it seeps into your bones without permission. Overrated? Maybe. But Paris is a city that does not ask you for your love. It demands it. It is imperfect, impatient, and intoxicating. It whispers in alleyways, in the rustle of café terraces, and in the stolen glances between strangers. And just when you think you have left it behind, it finds you again in the scent of bread baking at dawn, in the click of a woman's heels on cobblestone, in the way the Seine moves under the weight of history. I departed, but Paris did not leave me. It never does. But when the plane lifted off, leaving the city of light behind, I knew I would be back. Well, some places, after all, refuse to let go.